you're listening to Slurmcast, a podcast for no reason, and the worst part is I had to have the breakup sex by myself. Today we'll be discussing Season 9, Episode 8, Fun on a Bun. My name is Michelle Burlingame. With me are Tommy Roulette.
How's it going?
Pete Woodward.
That's me.
And our guest today, Printmaster Evan Lang.
Hello.
Hello.
Hi.
Welcome to the show. I didn't know your last name, and now I feel like I have to ask because we've had several other Langs
Nope,
on
none
the
of them
show.
are related.
See, she knew where I was going. It's weird. You know an unnatural amount of Langs who don't
And they're all
relate to
spelled
each other.
differently.
That's my next question.
Well,
was
that's-
there an E at the end?
That's
There was an
English
E at
for
the
you.
end, there was an I in the middle.
Ooh, interesting.
I think there's one without either, right?
Yeah, this one.
God, see? That's very weird. It has been over a month since we did this because I feel like 2020 is off to a rough start.
I would agree. It is. It is up to a rough start.
Can I say Wizard World, Wizard World, Wizard World, Wizard World, Wizard World?
It ain't happening this year.
So we've been trying to get a press pass for Wizard World, and every year that we've tried, we have not gotten one. And
No, I
this
got one
year-
last year.
Well, that wasn't through this,
I thought-
was
yeah,
it?
yeah, I got a press
They
pass
have
through
denied
this.
me. They have denied me every year that I've applied.
Yeah, I'm so surprised that I got it.
So the guy who's in charge of handing out the press passes kind of gave us some shit for not having released an episode in a while. So
Say, fine, jerk. You want to take
cool.
over
I
booking
guess
for the
we're
show?
not fucking covering your event. Since, you know,
It's,
we can't get you to give us press passes to do so.
So his job is just to be a dick.
Pretty
Like,
much, yeah.
I mean, to be fair, I'm sure he gets hit up by all sorts of, whatever.
Well, with
but
like 200 episodes online, you'd think that he could look at them and be like, okay, yeah, they're active.
yeah, I mean, like it's been a couple of weeks and whatnot, but it's also been the holidays. We had, there's all kinds of stuff going on.
Like, super popular podcasts go on break for like a period of time,
And we're
like,
not
have
even
seasons.
popular, so
Yeah.
Yeah,
it's
I'm,
like
I'm
mean,
on this.
we
Come
could
on.
be.
Like,
Did
We
anyone
could be.
notice?
I don't do anything. Yeah, I'm printing master, whatever you said. Like,
Well, we'd love to have you.
thank you.
in that interim, what have you guys been up to?
Nothing.
Anything?
School.
Work.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
You released an album.
Oh yeah, we did. And I don't usually cross-pollinate that too much, but yeah, go to
Oh,
Restless
sure.
Tabs.
I've seen the Slurmcast Twitter page. It's
I will
like 90% your
I will
band.
retweet. I will retweet stuff that I do, but honestly, I'm not even that active on the other one. It's just so I can build up like follows and retweets on the band account because, man, the internet's a wasteland. But that being said,
Twitter's garbage and should be deleted from everyone's devices.
steadfastrecords.net. If you're interested, you can go. There's still some special merchandise left. It'll be fun.
The only time I use Twitter is
When you're trying to get a Wizard World pass?
no when I'm like reading an article or something that has a link to something that was on Twitter.
Yeah,
and
me
then it
too.
opens up, and since it's the Slurmcast, then I'm already logged in, then
Yeah.
I can see it. That's it.
Yep.
Oh, dear. Yeah, so there was that. I had to do some travel. I got some work coming up. So just the business as usual. We're hobbling to the finish line of this fucking thing. It's going to happen.
We're close. We're getting
We'll do
there.
it.
I mean, we have a whole season and a half to go, so.
I know. You know what? I feel like attacked by that Wizard World guy just for the fact it's like, it is not for lack of trying. We have had so many guests confirm and cancel the day of in the last 2 months that it's like you'd think there was a coronavirus outbreak or something.
Phil Lamar was going to be there, and we could have totally
Yeah.
had him do something for this podcast, and then
Yeah.
No
people would
kidding.
have.
And then he canceled? Or he's there?
No, he's there.
He's going to be
Oh.
there. We just
But
can't get the.
under principle, I'm not going and paying.
yeah. Exactly.
If it's not a press pass, then I'm not going.
I mean, if you're nothing if not fair and balanced, Tom.
Yes. Then you don't have to stand in those lines to get your ticket. Just walk right up to the press pass.
Be like, duh, duh, duh. Now if you go near there, you're gonna get stink eye from everybody. Anyway, what a weird start to an episode. I did have to rewatch it because I watched it and took notes like a month ago before somebody canceled the day of the show, and refreshed my memory and pretty much enjoyed it. I think I might have enjoyed it more this second time than the first, because it was more passive. But like when everybody's just sort of hanging out in the Planet Express break room and Bender's on the ground coloring, I really enjoyed that for some reason. As along with the Unfrozen Dude magazine and everybody eating chips and salsa with their toes,
Yeah.
which I mean, I've probably done worse.
I've done
Really?
so much
Yeah.
worse with not just the chips and salsa with the toes, but just the how he stapled all of his drawings to the wall.
Yeah.
I've done so much worse to so many other places.
Yeah, that I do know about those stories.
Yeah, it just staples. Like that's a good way to adhere that to the wall. Like
Just
everyone. I'm just like, yeah, that's gonna be a problem. Like later.
was it a rental or
Oh, of
something?
course, of course.
I mean, that's what you get. That's what you should expect to happen.
Oh yeah. I don't think I've ever seen a security deposit ever back.
Wasn't there a night that was known as Crystal Knocked or something like
God.
that, where a bunch of people just broke glasses in the basement after a party?
Oh no, that no.
Please tell me you had a better name. Please
I
please
did-
tell me there's a better name.
I didn't know that there was a name, but
I don't know.
What do you do when you get 2 cases of 40 ounces? Finish all of them. We'll break all of them on the floor and then sweep them up.
Does,
and put them in a box and dispose of them?
Does a case of 40 ounces consist of 12 bottles or 24?
12.
Okay, so it's like a flat. Okay, I've
lot of
never
40s.
purchased in quantity.
Yeah.
One might argue too many.
Well, 5 20-year-olds or 20-somethings.
God,
Assholes.
I mean, I'll give it to you for ambition. That's for sure.
Yeah, just to walk into a whole bunch of jerks just busting 40 ounces on the floor. Like, oh, we're gonna take care of it. Like, it's fine.
like a real Mike Ness sort of situation.
We did.
I
We did.
did the whole professor not recognizing anybody? Did that just seem weird?
No,
Well, no, he's old.
Yeah.
he never remembers anything.
Well, I mean, intermittently he'll get something, but like not even recognizing Fry.
Oh, my good friend.
You boy. Most folks just call me Orange Joe.
Which I don't know why I'm going to posit and put on the table as a motion that we just do that from now on. I'd love to refer to him as Orange Joe.
I
That
agree.
was one of the choices
I
that
won't
I
remember.
originally thought of for the name of this podcast.
Orange Joe.
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 no kidding.
I mean, I guess it was August or July, so they had to wait 3 months to go to Oktoberfest, but that's a professor's.
That's so wonderful. I laughed so hard at that.
Where he's like, let's go do something in Bond.
Yeah, screw it. 3 months. Like, let's go. I'm like, fucking perfect. Like, thank you.
I mean, in my experience with other companies, like typically that's the sort of lead time you need to do something spontaneous anyway.
You're not wrong.
You know, I mean,
You're
and
not wrong.
I'm just coming at that from like the last 5 years I've worked for companies as a remote employee. So it's like if I'm even going to get somewhere, it's going to take at least an airline and a couple of nights to make it feasible. But man, they really, I felt so conflicted about all of this Oktoberfest and German heritage stuff because number one, hit very close to home, a lot of it. Number two, like they really walked this line between the worst of Germany and the best, kind of like pulling up to Oktoberfest, and it's like lulling other nations into a false sense of security since 1810, which is not wrong. But then the immediate lack of Bavarian-style vomit smell threw off that it had changed from what we're used to. What's your Oktoberfest experience? Like,
I have none.
Have you ever gone?
I think I probably like in my early 20s, but I don't really remember being. I remember it being crowded, and that was about it.
Yeah, I mean,
That
it
sounds about right.
it's an invitation to just like beer and pretzel gluttony.
Yeah.
Which sounds fantastic.
I mean, there's a lot. It has a lot going for it. Dirndls. I mean, I can get behind that too. But I never went as an adult. I'd probably been dragged a few times as a child. Like I think they used to do one at Geauga Lake,
I'm sure.
Way the hell
yeah.
back.
That's an old name.
Well, I'm an old person.
I'm old too.
But but I've gone a couple times in recent years to the one they throw at the fairgrounds, and it's really just like, it's sort of like Arion County Fair without, and not in the sense that it's like skinheads and neo-Nazis, though maybe they're representing, but there's just no rides or anything. They'll have like wiener dog races, and then there's a lot of sausage into that, a lot of like schnitzels and like. I think a lot of the same things.
I would go for the food and
and the beer.
But just the shenanigans. I'm not into the shenanigans.
I prefer the actual just county fair.
Well, why?
Because you can drink beer, and then you can eat food on a stick.
Yeah,
I'm all about food on the stick.
you can do that there too. Like, and I think
Right, but I'd rather just be at the county fair, and then you can watch the Demolition Derby.
there's that. I mean, they probably have
Tractor
better
pull.
Or
better
go in
tribute bands.
Go in the
at
haunted house during the day when there's no monsters.
the
in
tunnel,
there.
the tunnel of love.
I have been to more county fairs than I care to admit.
Are we more than two hands?
Oh, more than like 10 hands.
Oh dear. How does that even happen?
When your dad is in a tribute band from the time you're like a baby and still currently does it, you end up going to a whole lot of county fairs.
God damn. I never even thought. I was just going to say the county fair has a better tribute band lineup.
Summer long.
Wow.
Like every 2 days you're at a county fair.
They're looking for bands to play Cedar Point next year, like a week long thing.
Residency.
That's cool.
Yeah,
I mean, let's go fire up the old Journey act.
There already is one.
it doesn't have to be. It can be.
Yeah, but you could
There's
original
already
stuff.
there's so many.
You could be the younger Too Old Journey tribute act.
Might be a breath of fresh air.
Maybe.
It's like,
I mean, I bet the next wave of
Right.
it could be like,
an all-female Journey tribute called Herney. Hey, it's a new thought.
wow. I bet you could recruit that too pretty quick.
Yeah.
You could put it together.
But why would you want to?
Money. Money.
I was just thinking, what hasn't been
Tribute
done?
bands or cover bands, that's where the
Yeah,
money
they
is.
make a
Well,
lot of money.
And more to the point, like, just sort of barely disguised sexism aside, like, number one, if you had a female Journey tribute band, you would make the guy Journey tribute band really, really mad because your bookings would immediately get picked. Like, if you're trying to appeal to
That happens with every gender swap cover
exactly,
band.
like
There's a female Kiss cover band called Priss,
and
they
Iron Maidens.
piss people off so bad.
oh, that
I
sounds
bet.
amazing.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
The
I didn't know that.
Misfits.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's been like 17 of those. That one's too easy.
What's the Led Zeppelin one?
Les Zeppelin.
Led Zeppelin,
That's what
yeah.
I was trying to think of.
There's it's a Black Sabbath.
Oh, that's
one that's
See,
coming
it's
through.
too easy.
I would have gone for Bloody Sabbath with that one.
Oh, see, that's
That would have
that's
been
good
better.
too. Yeah,
That's
wow.
awesome. That's gross.
I'm sorry you had to endure that. I mean, I feel like the
Not
county
gross,
fair is. I
You know,
want to
we
go.
all make our choices.
If I'm going to go to the county fair, it's going to be on the night where you can bring in 2 canned food items, spend about 2 hours there, and then GTFO before it gets too weird. Like, it does weigh on me once I'm there. And it's not just the sweat and the heat and the bees.
I have to be careful because they get me with those carnival games.
Really?
They bring me in.
Because you're trying to win Becca like a giant panda bear or
The
something?
first time we ever went, I won her like a tiny. It wasn't very big, like a dog or something like that. And by the end of it, it had cost me like $20. And I didn't realize it because the dude, the way he talked to me was just like, oh. And like I'm handing him a couple dollars here and there. And he's like, oh, you could get this and this. And then all of a sudden, he's like, okay, blah, blah, blah. You owe me $20.
Do you remember what you were playing?
Dart hit the balloons.
Yep, exactly.
I wonder,
I've done exactly the same thing.
could you bring like a little sharpening stone with you?
Oh no, I popped them every single time. But
Oh,
you
yeah.
just have to pop so many and to get like a certain prize, and you can go up from there because they start out tiny prizes and then it goes from there.
They know what they're doing.
So,
They're hustling.
I paid
Never
$20 for
Stuffed dog.
Yeah, like a 20-cent
Inflatable
dog.
alien.
Yeah.
And now you've got like 7 real ones at your house.
You know where
Like,
it is right now? It's in the
Garbage.
goddamn closet.
Was it an uncredited appearance by Judge Whitey when they were walking through? He's like, I don't want to become too intoxicated.
I don't know if it was actually him or just a similar
lookalike.
character. I don't remember what he looked
It
like.
didn't pop out to me. I'd have to watch it again, looking for him to see if it was.
I assumed it was.
I mean,
like,
it's a highfalutin event. You know, you'd figure he was there. Now it's a highfalutin event where people go to act like Jersey Shore socialites.
There isn't even a name. If you look at the transcript, there's not even a name next to that
It's
line.
just like
It's like
beer counter.
the look to it, the hair, and just the toydiness of it really suggested that it was him.
Yeah.
The only poor people I care about, people who tend to my pores at the spa.
But the long and the short of it is there are no more shenanigans at these things. Like, it's just become this super uptight.
So by that logic, I swear, I think it's him.
Well,
bunch of Jersey Shore socialites.
yeah, like exactly. Which makes me wonder what Fry thought like low class was in 1999. But was there is there something that this would be equivalent to? Like, what would be? Or I'm just trying to figure out if it's like a purely fictional situation, like some sort of festival that used to be super rowdy and is now just like, oh, this is. I get me like maybe Easter versus.
No, I don't think there's anything that's like that. I think the joke lies in that it is like considered like a crazy thing, and now like 1,000 years later, it's
super uptight.
just
The only thing that comes to mind, which I'm not sure if this qualifies, but how every time they tried to reboot Woodstock,
Oh yeah,
25 and 99, and just how horrible it got.
I mean, Limp Bizkit can't play all of them.
I love Limp Bizkit. I'm just gonna go on record and say it. Like, I fucking love.
There's
that
no
band.
$3 bills in here, son.
Fred Durst was just in a commercial I saw, and he is looking old.
For what?
I don't remember.
Is he looking good though?
Was it one of those like erectile dysfunction / hair
No,
retention
it's for something,
medication companies?
And they make like a reference to Limp Bizkit, and then there's like Fred Durst is like walking by, and he like turns his head. And
You're shitting me.
like I don't remember.
How did you
it was
even
like
know?
How did I know
that it was Fred Durst? Like, was he wearing the
Because-
red cap?
That's a different Fred Durst. That's a different Fred Durst.
No. It looked like him. He just looked older. As we all have aged
I
since
have to look that up.
the early.
But still, yeah.
Aughts.
On that point, yeah. I don't. The Woodstock is the only thing that I can possibly think about. But it's a good comparison, just how things progress. And
I mean, I think the people
I like
that would
that.
go to it with the intentions of partying would still party like assholes.
which is why I like how they're just like completely, drinking out of the spit trough. Just
Yeah, oh my God.
dancing on the
Not
fucking
all
table.
the
Like,
beer.
like shut up, leave me alone. Now I'm having fun. Finally,
Well,
this makes sense.
And that was, I was gagging. I was actually eating dinner during that while Fry was doing it. But like, we skipped over the part that really resonated with me, which is a sausage making competition. Because I love sausage and I love weird food. So putting them all together, I love the fact that like Bender's line of, I just started always dreaming about not about being a sausage making champion, which until someone puts the idea in your head, like you might not think like I'm going to be a champion sausage maker, but as soon as I heard that, I'm like that's what I want. And they had the rack of angel wings and the hummingbird breast sausage, and then the Spice Weasel bratwurst.
I love the Spice Weasel so much.
Yeah.
Always wanted one.
So there used to be. It's a famous place. It's been closed for a few years now called Hot Doug's up in Chicago. And they were a hot dog place, but he would also expand the menu to like a rotating selection of strange ash meat sausages. So I'd only been there a couple times, but in those couple times it had elk and alligator and rattlesnake.
Oh, no shit.
And
Ooh.
something else.
How do you sausagify a rattlesnake?
You grind up the meat and you shove it through a meat
Yeah, but
grinder.
you need more fat.
I'm
You
sure
could
they
fortify
had
it with something.
What
They
was
had
the
something
casing
around.
made out of?
Good old fashioned skin.
The
casing.
rattler.
It was snakeskin, like a 80s guitar.
I'm thinking about like a snake skin cased snake sausage with like the scales on it.
That's like insulting.
It's just
You're trying to bite it, and it's just real strong. You're like, shit.
Well, if you like fried it on the outside, it would be like a crispy salmon skin roll.
I love salmon skin.
See, that would just be pretty good.
What? Okay.
But still insulting to the to the fucking snake.
I mean,
Yeah.
No,
look,
you're dead. We ground you up and we jammed you
And
back
now-
into your skin.
and now we're going to eat you.
I mean, how is it not insulting to pigs that we do?
We
that?
also take chickens and then bathe them in their own unborn young
This
to
is
breed
also
them.
very true.
Yeah. So actually tonight I just made a bunch of chicken cracklings because I had all the chicken that I made for my noodles, and then I put all the skins into the air fryer and fried that. I was like, oh my God, I should just make these all the time. And it turns you can order them off Amazon. There's people that sell chicken cracklings, like bagged chips, whatever. But as I was going through that, someone's just like, well, here's some salmon crackle. I'm like, fuck no.
No.
I don't want that out of a bag.
No.
Yeah, out of a bag, that's a little bit dicey.
That's some fake salmon skin stuff that you'd be getting from a discount market in China or something. Did you notice that not only did Bender have a pig though that he was ready to sacrifice for this stuff? His name was Grundy.
Grundy, yes.
He was very sad. But when Elzar was like, "I've got 3,000-year-old pork,"
He's a Craigslist pig, though.
I know. I mean, that's almost like, what are you going to do with a Craigslist pig?
Good to know Craigslist is still around in 1,000 years.
Well, I mean, it was inside Bender's chest cavity. He could have picked it up at any point. It's sort of timeless in there. I almost got a pet pig once because someone had to like rehouse one, and then I was.
Oh yeah, those teacup pigs.
Yeah.
They don't fucking stay small.
No,
they get
look,
huge.
I'm aware, and then I started looking at the zoning laws for weird pets here, and it's like you got to get a variance from city council to have like a pig or a goat or some shit. So I couldn't do it. But
Especially here,
I was going to name it Frances Bacon.
Pete.
I know, it was perfect.
At that point, you might as well just kiss bacon and just pork goodbye because you're going to be staring down the face of it.
I'm not above being a cannibal if the opportunity presents itself. In fact, I've been thinking about this a lot. We're gonna veer in. I mean, it's Ash Wednesday that we're recording this. We're gonna veer into some religious talk. When you get right down to it, at the basis of the Catholic faith, when the priest is blessing the host and the wine, there is a belief that this is the transubstantiation of the materials in that to where it turns from bread into the actual like flesh and blood of Christ, in which case you're being a fucking cannibal.
That's a huge reason why they were like looked down upon for so long.
And
'cause
being like a
everybody
cult?
thought,
Yeah.
like you're cannibal. Like, and I imbibe you. Like that's fucking weird. Like why are you eating people?
If it tastes good, it tastes good. That's all I'm saying.
Sometimes I just order communion wafers online and eat them just as a snack.
They're great with hummus.
That sounds like such a good idea. Oh my god!
I can still remember because I was raised Catholic, my first communion, and like we got to taste an unblessed host, like the host before we did it, and I remember my disappointment on the taste of it.
This is like styrofoam.
Yeah.
No shit.
I used to read Goosebumps books in church. I never had any of that communion anything.
I see that has me. I've been co-conspiring about new dessert ideas and things with my girlfriend, and I was wondering now, just on that thought, like, what is the potential blowback or business opportunity for making desserts out of unblessed communion wafers?
Aren't those just crackers at that point?
Kind of. I mean, in and of themselves, not a lot of flavor. But what if you like soaked them in some kind of like custard or pudding? And I'm spitballing here.
That just sounds like an awesome outside of a cheesecake.
I think you'd be better off putting like a cross on vanilla wafers and then selling those as communion wafers dessert.
I like it.
Because that's what I had hoped they tasted like. Because I'm thinking wafers.
Or like
Vanilla
those,
wafers.
Those little waffle wafers with
Little
the
Nilla
cream in the middle.
wafers.
Yeah.
God, those are so good.
Oh God. But fried drinks from the spittoon and goes apeshit, completely without any decorum, and starts firing off some great one-liners like, "Come on, you Keistermeisters." And what were he said he's like Kaiser Permanente.
Kaiser Permanente. I used to go to that place.
He said something else before. He was just rattling off like German sounding shit.
Farfignugan, Kaiser Permanente. I don't know what the last one is. Frusengladja?
Oh, Frusengladja.
Yeah, I don't know what
that was it was some kind of, I think, frozen yogurt or sorbet in the 80s.
Okay.
Like Haagen-Dazs, but it was like, like the the cutesy commercials that they used to do for Country Crock, where it's like you just see the hands and then the morning bedtime breakfast nook talk between the husband
Ich
and the
bin
wife.
I never.
Yeah, exactly.
I do know I am going to change all of my online handles to Countess von Luftballoon later.
I think you should.
That character reminded me so much of just like early cartoons, like Looney Tunes cartoons or something like that, of like the stuffed up old person.
Well, I never.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a evergreen thing. I think it's almost like a Marx Brothers character or something. Like I think
I agree.
That's straight Brack on that.
No one speaks like that at all. It's only in just satire and just cartoon form.
I would imagine at some point in the last 115 years, there was probably some East Coast upper class society that.
But you know what it is now?
Clutching white bitch.
A trope.
It is.
Well, I think it is kind of a reference to the Ich bin ein Berliner thing.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'd like to be a donut too. I never knew that people had so many strong feelings about jelly donuts in the last couple days, but man, people get really worked up about what you call a pastry stuffed with jam.
Well,
I'm not going to try and pronounce it. What is it?
I don't know, and that's why I've never eaten one, because I don't know how to pronounce it, and I'm not going to ask anyone to give me one.
I can feel people getting pissed off right
now. Laura, who has been on the show before several times, was posting about how they're just jelly donuts.
Yes.
They are.
And she said she thinks it's pronounced punchki.
Yes. If you're Polish, but if you're not,
It's spelled Pakki.
Yes.
Yes.
And I like that little dip into Mr. Mixelplick there. That was good.
You were not wrong.
Not Mixelplick. It was like Glomer or Orko. It was good. It was just a little. You're bound to some extent by the phonetics of the place that the word's being spoken. If your name's John and you go to Mexico,
What's this?
I would say like Potsky, Hexeti, Hazeki, Pachki.
I would say Punchki.
I would say Punchki.
Punchki.
Potsky.
Patsky.
Potsky. 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 Oh, that's just how I grew up saying it.
now find what is prangent.
The pronunciation of the word Ponchki is in Polish. Ponchki is
Ponchki.
many, one ponchak. And you do not say punchkis or punchki, but it's ponchki.
Look,
Ponchki.
that's fine. When I start learning
Cool.
Polish,
Now I can order a jelly donut on Fat Tuesday next year.
I mean,
I'm ready. In 364 days, I will have
You can't
forgotten
get
how
them.
to pronounce them.
You can't get them. You can get them one day a year.
I had one today.
I won't remember tomorrow.
You'll remember in 363 days when everyone remembers them, and then all of a sudden it'll go away again.
Pete, I'm pretty sure on Ash Wednesday it turns into the body and blood of Jesus.
Well, look, I had some
Hey-o.
sugary long pig today. Then
It's just add it to the list of things fabricated in Cleveland that no one else understands or
oh no, that's
knows the
nationwide,
thing.
and
no,
then
it's not.
It's in at least in
Guarantee
country.
you.
It's in Chicago for sure.
It's Midwest.
Yeah,
I
because
have
that's
Midwest.
never heard of it until I moved
Polish-
to Cleveland, and no one that
because
I
they don't
know
let
in
Eastern
Columbus
Europeans in
knows
Columbus.
what the fuck punchki is.
Okay, let's say North Midwest.
How about pierogies?
Well, yeah, everyone knows what a pierogi is.
Thanks to Mrs.
My
T.
parents were from Toledo, and
Really?
they had no fucking idea about pierogies.
They knew about Tony Pacos, though, didn't they?
Oh, you're goddamn right they did. You're goddamn right they did.
Is
All
the
right, well.
chicken dance actually German?
It's an abomination,
know.
no matter where it is or where it comes from. And
I never thought of it
sincerely
as
doubt it.
being an Oktoberfest thing, but I guess it is. Usually it's like
If you
it's
got
like
oompa
a
music,
party song.
Yeah.
You know, at weddings and prom. Well, maybe not prom.
It's white people.
is there
yeah.
is
Let's
there
get
a
to it.
sexy grindy version of
I
the
think-
chicken dance that happens at proms? There's like
I'm sure at this point there has to be, but it's white people. Like let's get down to brass tacks. Like
rumored to be a Oktoberfest drinking song. They came from a drinking song.
okay.
It's an oompa song,
Yeah.
which would be, I guess, associated with an Oktoberfest type
Sure.
song.
Now, what if you filtered that through the Mexican music that has Germanic roots? Because there's like a variation of like mariachi that uses accordions and has like that waltzy beat.
There's a whole new music genre.
It already exists. It's a thing for real.
Putting them together.
Yeah. But anyway, so Fry causes mayhem like he does, and then they start going through like the rest of the Oktoberfest, the ultimate schnitzel machine. That's like I want to go to there. Like I just want fried cutlets all the time. Like I'm kind of tempted to go make some right now. I got some chicken sticks in the freezer and throw them in the fryer. And just that like juicy meat in a breaded coating.
Yeah, it's good.
It's the best. But then that has the extra German added value of being pounded fucking flat with a heavy object before you bread it. And that's the fun part.
I love cooking, and I thoroughly enjoy just beating the hell out of my meat before I bread it.
Do you wash your hands
Yes,
after?
I do. Both before and after.
What do you use? Some people like a frying pan. Or do you have like a meat tenderizer mallet where you get to pretend to be Thor?
Both.
Yeah?
It just depends on what I'm doing.
I kind of like to do like a double-handed
It really
thing.
depends. I have the meat tenderizer, which actually it's better for steak.
Oh, sure.
Because it
So
gives
you
those
like
little
to beat your
divots.
meat with both hands?
I mean, there's definitely a preference to one, but sometimes the variety helps.
Washing both hands is the most important.
Yes, you don't want cross-contamination.
Before and after.
Because if you get the crosses from the communion wafers on it, it just gets sticky and weird.
It's just nobody's going to be happy.
The one thing that we haven't brought up is the Leela Fry relationship in this episode.
Oh yeah, where
Yeah.
she breaks up with him like it's a thing and he has no idea.
We were
Yeah.
dating? Yeah. I mean,
And then he had to have the breakup sex by himself.
Which is how we introed all of
yes. I had to. That was a special, slightly different intro than what I normally do because usually I do the line and you're listening to Slurmcast. But this time
It was different.
I did a
Yeah.
twisty.
Oh,
It's
Did a flip flop just because that line was so perfect.
I'm glad I was here
It
for
was
it.
it was either that or most people just call me Orange Joe.
I support you in your decision. That was a good one.
what was the exhibit though? So the thing that really kicks off the B plot in this was Fry and Bender are watching a video about Germany and the Neander Valley and how there were these mammoths in there 30,000 years ago. And Bender's like, that's 30,000-year-old meat. That's what I want to find. Like dig in the Ice Age and find myself a woolly mammoth. Number one, sounds delicious. Like I'd be into that for sure. And I don't know why I feel less bad about eating a woolly mammoth than I do about like an elephant, but I'd feel bad about eating an elephant. I'd still do it, but I definitely feel guilty about it.
You wouldn't, like, if mammoths were still around like elephants, you would feel bad about eating it. But if it's already dead, like, you're not contributing to anything. So
What if
you
they
just have a
resurrect
slice.
it, like Jurassic Park style, though?
They might. There's talking about
I
it.
thought they already had, to be honest. Like they
Well,
found them.
They spliced DNA because they recovered DNA of a woolly mammoth, and
Yeah.
they were trying to use some sort of cloning method to inject the DNA of the woolly mammoth into the egg of an elephant.
Okay.
So they're trying to, I don't quite remember. It's been a long time. I don't think it really went anywhere because it's been at least 10 years
They
since
recently, though, brought it up because they found another, like, really well-preserved
And that
piece of
baby
a-
mammoth's name, coronavirus. We can laugh about it now before it kills us all. It's coming.
I heard on my, I'm not going to say the name because she's listening right behind you, but I heard on my news briefing this morning that it's coming to the U.S. It's on its way, and there's nothing we can do about it, and we're all going to die.
We're all gonna.
It's a great
die.
way to wake up this morning.
Yeah, I don't care.
Oh, it was. I had it followed up by a couple other things that
Bring it
tag
on.
teamed it, and then I just got to have another fun thing right before we started. It's been a fun day.
Invest in masks, medical masks,
Not like just.
Oh, like how
Halloween masks,
The-
I mean,
we
they'll-
have
they'll
like
all work.
was
right
it
on.
300 million masks in storage for in case of emergencies, but we would need 300 billion to actually cover every healthcare worker that would need to be provided with said masks. It's like lifeboats on the Titanic. We're all going down.
Yeah. So Bender and Fry go hunting for this mammoth, which they find with the elephant finder turned up to like extra hairy or whatever. And then Bender's got this mammal mulcher, which is like a giant tree grinder thing, like the whole like from Fargo.
Oh, jeez.
You know.
Yes.
And then his arms turn into a sausage machine, which is typical, and spitting out fully cased and tied off sausages too.
Can we have a Bender for the house for that kind of thing? Like that sounds amazing.
The only thing I want a KitchenAid like mixer for is to have like a sausage grinder attachment, just so I could start making my own weird sausages.
I've
I
thought
have a
about that.
KitchenAid mixer. I
It
should
plugs
get one
into
of
the
those.
top, and then you just
Oh yeah,
you hold
there's
the
so
little
many
nozzle.
different attachments for that.
It's pretty intense, but from all appearances, Fry gets fucking mulched.
Which isn't surprising. Like, when has he not almost
Been in
died?
danger, yeah. I mean, they carry this one a little bit farther. I figured there's still another like 30 episodes left, so he's probably going to come back. But you never know. Orange Joe could disappear. But apparently these sausages are so fucking good that Bender's just like killing it in the sausage contest, and Leela can't stop eating it, but gets like fry hair stuck in her mouth.
As she should.
And
As
then-
she would.
Then realizes that the sausage looks like Fry, and it's got fragments of its clothes and more hair on it. It's like, oh.
Apparently that's what makes a good sausage, which is actually kind of weird because how gross Fry is.
I mean, extra
So-
flavor.
I'm not discrediting that.
But she was furious at him not very long ago for double dipping. So it's like there's a lot of layers to unpack.
That's a good point.
And this gets twisted into Bender's other catchphrase of tragedy on a bun instead of fun on a bun. But so does this turn it? So then is there like a C plot and a D plot? I feel like the part where we get into like the Eternal Sunshine segment,
Yes,
is like
you.
a whole separate thing with Leela, and then there's the whole ending that happens too. They all resolve.
Yeah, I think that's kind of just a subset of what would it be? What's plot A?
Plot A is them going to Oktoberfest.
and
Plot B is Bender becoming a sausage champion.
but going to Oktoberfest that all then leads to Fry being because they kind of intertwine. The two stories kind of intertwine
Yeah.
almost, and then that one the sausage thing ends,
Yes.
and then it becomes like almost like a separate.
But then,
Well, no, the sausage keeps going. Then there's
Yeah,
Leela.
Oh, yeah, that's
it goes
right.
to the end. Leela, Eternal Sunshine's Fry out of her brain.
she goes to Annie's Forgettery.
Yes.
And Bender keeps trying, after he wins
Third
place, second place, first place. Like it's so yeah. I don't think it peters out. He still cares. So
Two of the
it's still a
memories
thing.
that she had zapped out of her head that stuck with me were
Oh, yes.
Fry sits on a pie and Fry finds popcorn in his belly button. And it was also like Fry gives her a chicken hat, which Annie at the Forgettery is like, that's sweet. But he's like, oh, what happened? He's like, oh, you were cutting onions.
God.
Would you guys eternal sunshine, light, mind?
I don't know.
However you say it.
I don't know. I mean, one could argue I try to do it on a nearly nightly basis with various ingests.
Yeah.
But permanently, I don't know. My friggin' memory is one of the few things that I have going for me.
I mean, if you've seen the movie, you know it's a terrible idea. So
I've seen it a couple times, but I don't remember what happened. And maybe that's part of the whole thing. Like, maybe I got this eternal sunshine by watching.
Your mind.
I think it's because it's so emotionally scarring of a film that you don't want to
Like,
remember what happened.
I got enough emotional
It's
scars.
rough, man. It's rough.
I agree.
I can make myself sad on my own.
To put it another way, like I was thinking about it because I was explaining this to my wife.
Yeah.
Like what was happening. Like it's Eternal Sunshine. Like I never saw that. I'm like, oh my God. It's Jim Carrey with Kate Winslet. Just kind of how we just watch Yes Man with Jim Carrey and Zooey Deschanel. It's just it's him being older with somebody cute. But
Like Ace Ventura when it's him and Courtney Cox.
when she was real cute before she had all the work, but just cuter and more depressing.
She was fresh off that stage with Bruce Springsteen.
The boss.
Oh, she had her
He-Man.
What are you gonna do?
He-Man.
She was in He-Man.
What? Oh, the one with Dolph Lundgren.
Yeah.
Oh,
yes.
yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that was
Yeah,
just
come on.
Masters of the
I
Universe.
just read something about that because Dolph Lundgren spoke with like a thick accent, in his contract they he was allowed to do the lines 3 times before they would overdub him. And so most of all the movie is him because he was able to, by the 3rd time of saying a line, he was able to like say it clear enough that people could understand it.
Again.
No shit.
I mean, here we are in 2020 with the understanding that he's actually like a really smart guy that's like is he a marine biologist or something? Like he's got
a
like
Mensa guy.
He's got like a PhD in some sort of advanced science discipline.
Dolph Lundgren?
Who came to America on like a
kidding.
visit and they're just like
He's like Swedish, I think.
Well,
or
he
something
was.
like that.
I just heard this in something else. Like he was dating Brigitte Nielsen, so she got famous as a model, and he came to visit, and they're like, "Hey, do you want to be in Rocky?" And he's like, okay, yeah, shut up. You don't need to talk. Just stand there and scowl,
We're gonna grease you up and just stand there.
and then you're gonna be He-Man, and then you're gonna be the Punisher, and then you're gonna da-da-da-da-da. But ultimately,
And
this
then you're going to star in the Expendables 1 through 5.
So Fry didn't get killed. He got frozen again by falling down into a hole in
Again.
the ice.
How many times does that make?
Several, at least 3 or 4 that we've seen.
Hey, it works.
But when he comes out, like what he how
He
does the
wangs
top
his
of it
head
break?
pretty bad.
Yeah, so he gets a big Neanderthal lump on his forehead, but then like walks out into what is basically the Savage Land from Marvel Comics. So it's like this under ice.
It reminds me of Hollow Earth.
Yeah, oh, totally. So there's like this Neanderthal paradise, but the first thing you see when it comes out is like a giant saber-toothed tiger licking its balls, which was just that's super accurate.
I would take a saber-toothed tiger over a mammoth any day.
Eating it or
Having it back,
why?
because that's awesome.
It's an alpha predator. You wouldn't want that. I'd take a giant sloth, as we'll see at the end.
Yeah.
That's what I want.
Yeah.
What I didn't understand the thing where they were going to McPluto with the stuff, and he's like French fried segments of no potatoes. Like there was this weird.
Well, he
sort
was
of
going to
thing.
say, and French fries.
Oh.
So I said, yeah.
Because
They can't mention fry because
Yeah.
that completely
They
both
served
times I
them on
watched this.
Fry Saturdays.
We're not getting sued.
No, it's
Just
good.
just bullshitting. Good for you, Hermes.
So I guess, but now Fry has knocked the memories out of his head. Leela had it chemically or electronically taken out, but then they're both getting their memories jogged by color sensations. So like Fry's staring at a purple pig, and the Neanderthals are like, "Why are you staring at purple pig or prehistoric pig butt?"
That just sounds great.
Yeah, I mean I'd eat it for sure. And then Leela sees like pumpkins, and wasn't there something else orange that she saw?
No, it was just the pumpkin.
It was just the pumpkin
in the hearth or whatever you call that.
The little
display.
It just got weird. But so the backstory on the Neanderthals is that the Homo sapiens drove them there because they used to have a peaceful society, and when the Neanderthals suggested that they mate together and interbreed the Homo sapiens, they just like, nope, get out, and that was that. So they got stuck under the ice when the Ice Age came, and they've been there these 30,000 years.
Besides the mating, that sounds a lot like the native Martians.
Yeah, absolutely.
Who were encouraged to live underground. Very
or the mutants
peacefully.
There's a lot of underground societies in the future.
I like how Fry says that his sadness makes perfect sense, and he does have vague memories of people refusing to breed with him.
You and me both, Fry. But then they have to go back to Oktoberfest because the Ravens bring Scruffy a message saying that Bender is in the sausage-making finals.
I love Scruffy so much.
Yeah, that was his only appearance in this too, wasn't it?
He's such an underdog character. Just he's there, but like he's profoundly and pungently there when he is.
Yeah, well, that's what the episode previous to this. I think there was a section where he's just like, Hermes was trying to find the most useless member of the staff so they could cut them and fire them, and then Scruffy is like, "Well, you go ahead and try and see how that works out for you." Which
Boilers and turlets.
Yeah.
Not one Burlington.
I just want to see a copy of Zero G Jugs. That's really all I'm kind of trying to talk about.
I think that's the final frontier. How long will it take before like? I mean, this is a serious question because I understand how humans are. As soon as privatized space travel becomes feasible, and it sounds like they're close, like SpaceX or whatever, or Virgin Galactic are ready to like start selling tickets to an upsy-downsy trip into the stratosphere. Like, how long will it take for pornography to be filmed in space?
Not long.
Like
after
microseconds?
Not long after. What is it? Rule
34?
Yeah, not long.
I mean, I just the logistics of it seem like there's a whole like just conceptually could result in so many other weird subgenres.
It's already weird. Just
it gets weirder every day.
Yep. Why not? Just here we go.
I want maybe. Here's the $1 million idea for this week. We should start reserving zero gravity pornography related URLs.
I'm sure it's been done.
Let's get on GoDaddy.
I was about to say, write it down because you just said it. So somebody's gonna.
You got to do it before this comes out.
Like somebody look up and see if Zero G Jugs is already a thing.
It has to be.
It has to be.
But
there's no way it's not.
Oh God, you're gonna make me do this.
I'm not making you do anything.
I
already changed my Instagram handle to Countess von Luftballon.
Yeah, but at the same time, I've had Zero G Jugs as like a Facebook banner for like years. Yeah. Like I rotate, but I keep reverting back to that.
One G or two in Jugs?
2. Pretty sure 2.
0 G's.
Mm-hmm. Good.
Huge domains. It's available for $2,095. Somebody beat us to it.
To steal.
Every year URL is taken. That's why ours is clownpenis.fart. That is a really old SNL joke.
I'm surprised that they're as sensitive to Leela forgetting Fry as they were. Like that it seems like unusually nice of the crew in general, like more so than they usually are.
Their timidness about it like was said so much more. It was so much more of the joke. Like it just helped it along. Just like how quickly they were just ready to back up as soon as they fired the escape pod in the warehouse or in the dock. Like, oh my god.
This is a lot of work. Maybe we should hire a delivery boy. Like it just
So like it's perfect. It's dumb. It's perfect. It's dumb.
So what I'm trying to okay, so one of the Neanderthal scouts finds the hole in the ice. And the chief's like, well, maybe that's something someone else will go investigate several years from now. And Fry's like, no, this is our chance to take it back from the Homo sapiens with their pants and their tools and such. And he's like, right. So all of a sudden, as a Neanderthal, it's sort of like Idiocracy, where he's like the most competent guy by being a barely functional Homo sapien. And
I didn't think of it like that.
They go to wage war on
I'll agree with you on that.
the Germans.
Which is, it's a year. He's been in there for a year because it's the next Oktoberfest.
I don't think it's the next
I think it's the
Oktoberfest. I
same-
think it's the closing ceremonies.
Okay. So
Yeah,
it's the same.
Oktoberfest is like a
Oktoberfest.
week.
Okay.
Like 5.
It might be
five-
it might be all of
All right.
October in 1,000 years in the future.
It's a week. It's like 5 to 7 days.
Oh, why? Just because they're both prime numbers?
I don't know.
So Zap Brannigan and Kiff are there now. I don't think they were there before, but they're at Oktoberfest.
Well, he's a
now,
judge in the sausage.
Now I'm the one judging the sausage.
Was it? Did he say now I'm the one judging it, or is it? I feel like
Is he criticizing? Hold on.
something like no. I'm the one that can make disparaging remarks about the sausage or something, or criticizing the sausage.
He says
Like,
criticize. Yeah. We meet Leela. We meet again, but this time I'm the one criticizing the sausage.
There it is. I was sitting next to my wife, laughing my ass off with that. Like, oh my god,
He's
fucking
gotten
asshole.
a lot of mileage out of that one encounter they had several years ago. Like he just
so
it's just,
wonderful.
it weighs heavy on him.
It weighs heavy on her, like and the fact that she has to fucking deal with it and live with it. It's
Every
so
time.
Like and her mom
good.
Yeah.
and Leela's mom.
It's so good.
So
Mileage almost doesn't even categorize it, or,
It's
not the right word. It's not the right adjective.
it's been like a decade that it's been going on
so
in
good.
our world, much less theirs. But then it turns into like a Braveheart situation, and the Neanderthals on the mammoths and everything all like line up and then just go to town smashing stuff up. Like the caveman smashing the mechanical clock dolls. Awesome.
Battalion A, smash things. Battalion B, smash different things.
And Bender just goes on a rampage. He's like, I got third place. Now I'm just going to steal the trophies to get the first place trophy, which is an amazing sort of philosophy about it. It's just like, it doesn't matter what I actually was placing. I'll just take the trophy for the prize that I want. It's smart
Nobody could prove
and
otherwise.
flexible. Not when everything's been smashed to pieces.
And those guys are dead.
My favorite scene in the whole show, it was ongoing, was the giant sloth attacking Hermes. Where they both just stood there in that standoff and just ah!
So slow.
And then resolving ultimately at the end where he's cradling Hermes in his arms like a baby. It was so perfect.
Him reading the newspaper was just enough. Yeah, I know. Like, this is still happening.
Well, if you knew you were going to get cuddled by a giant sloth, wouldn't you hang around too?
I guess, yeah. I mean, they've got long nails and.
I feel like, but
no
I
matter
feel like
how
those
many-
are too big to even do damage to you. Like unless they really caught you right in the chest.
I don't know. Anybody doing a sloth impression like that of it being really slow, it's going to be funny.
Yeah.
Can't help it.
And he looked really cuddly. Like, really just.
You'd have the rolls of sloth fat and then the rolls of puffy hair, which I'm sure is like having not been exposed to actual sunlight for several years is probably like
Not damaged.
Yeah.
Extra. No conditioner needed.
Zap is convinced though that they will take care of business. He's like, they may not have technology like us, but we have something they don't have. Technology. Another brilliant turn of phrase. And then he shows off the unmanned drones that all have men in them.
The men are just for ballast.
Right. and they
Those
have,
drones can withstand even a modern day elephant foot.
Well, it was the controller that could withstand the elephant foot. So as soon as he drops it, when the mammoth charges, it smashes it, which was just beautiful. And then the mammoths start spraying beer at the tanks, and they all explode.
Yeah. Why did the tanks explode when they got wet? That doesn't make any sense.
Well, they clearly had some kind of electrical weapon going on because when they fired it at the mammoths, they all got like puffed out frizzy electro hair.
It was everything that they fired was pink. Like it wasn't like a bullet. It was like
a zap ray gun thing.
It's future tanks.
But it was
Can't
beautiful.
get wet.
And then Zap's like scoffing at him from the Nimbus, and they fire a catapult at him that has a saber-toothed tiger who goes through the glass and then just goes to town. It was just fucking brilliant.
I'd expect everybody, like honestly, when they were spraying all the beer on the tanks, I thought everybody was just going to get wasted and just start
Well, that happened eventually.
smashing into each other. But I didn't think it was just going to, electrically die.
But first, orange?
Purple. Yeah, well, they had a pretty good fight scene, Fry and Leela, before they recognized each other.
That was good.
And then,
It was on top of the Planet Express ship.
which was sideways because it got pulled down by Fry's mammoth. Again, that ship doesn't seem very strong. It gets fucked up a lot by a lot
it's
of
tough,
weird
though.
things. It just
It's
gets
not
rebuilt.
strong, but it's tough.
The professor clearly has enough
Wait.
money to keep repairing this ship.
Can you explain the semantic difference between that? Because I'm perplexed.
Strong,
Yes.
you can punch something good.
Okay.
Well, tough,
Yeah.
you can take a punch well.
It didn't take the punch well. It got gutted by a mammoth.
I know, but it's going to get fly and go.
Pulled out of the air.
They're not like
And a
getting a new
saber-tooth.
spaceship each time.
Okay,
They're just
they just rebuild
rebuilding
it. Okay, that's fine. But once they realize who they are to each other, they start making out, and then it turns into a free-for-all, like Oktoberfest orgy.
Look like interbreeding.
Yeah, everyone gets. It looks like some of these other German movies that already have a place on the internet. It just gets out there, and so they all make peace.
Well, in recognition of their overwhelming victory, let's call it a draw.
I mean, which is just the most Zap thing ever said. Until the next time he shows up and says something even more Zap. It's like he's the ultimate American exceptionalist, even though America doesn't exist anymore. It's really something. And then Oktoberfest is just like a completely drunken brawl, free for all. Like Leela,
As it should be.
Yeah.
Real quick. I feel like that line about overwhelming victory, well, let's call it a draw, is something our current president would say.
I feel like he probably tweeted it this week.
Is Zap Brannigan.
Yeah,
He wishes.
No,
He
Zap's
really
not
wishes.
that bad.
Space Force is dupe.
Let's not get into Space Force because, again, I'm sure as we all know, the symbol looks like what the
Star
Starfleet-
Trek thing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Starfleet Academy. Like just like your PR department. You're like, gee, this is satire.
It
Oh my
literally
God.
means nothing. The Air Force already does the actions that.
So does-
Space Force is not people going into space. It's literally just cleaning up space debris or monitoring it on satellites.
And it appears
which,
that the
guess
Navy
what? The
chases
fucking
the UFOs.
the fucking Air Force already does that. We already have people doing that. Okay,
I can also punch myself in the balls at the same,
My boss used an analogy of something that happened at work today or yesterday, saying like, "Man, that's like getting kicked in the balls," and I appreciated him all that much more for it. It's pretty great because he's not wrong.
no.
Just like, oh, I'm glad you see it my way. Hopefully, we'll get some resolution on that. God, all right.
So yeah, Oktoberfest is back to normal. Oh, Leela does the chicken dance
Because Fry lets her
and-
embarrass him for once.
Yep, and that's the end.
Which is so cute.
With Fry and Leela
It's fun.
together.
It's cute.
Let's see
long
whether
that'll
they are
last.
still together in the next episode or if they forgot when they were writing it.
Right? We're so close. But we're getting there. I mean, it all worked out. So, final thoughts on this one? Anything?
I thought it's one of the better later
Later season
season
ones?
Yep.
episodes that I think.
One of my favorites.
I'd
I
agree
agree.
with that.
I agree.
It was there was enough continuity in it to not feel like they were just jumping around and throwing shit at the wall like they do sometimes in these later ones. I was good with it. So we'll see. We'll see what the next one does eventually. I'm trying to. It's been so long. I'm trying to remember what we do here at the end. Hey, Do you have anything you want to talk about or plug? With these prints that you're mastering and making masters of to make prints of the masters?
For the masters of
yeah.
the masters.
Who are the masters?
Too long. Printing is if there's 100% of anything, printing is like 10% skill, 90% troubleshooting. So,
Is this, what kind of printing is it?
screen printing.
Okay. I used to do offset printing years and years and years ago. So
Done that as well. I've just gravitated more to screen printing.
certainly more lucrative these days. I mean, within you're not going to make any money doing offset printing.
You'd be surprised how much no money you could make at screen printing. So,
I've been in bands for 30 years. You won't surprise me with anything like that.
yeah, and I'll print the shirts for them. Like,
I prefer cursive, but that's okay.
I do.
Oh,
too.
you
I forgot how to do
cursive
cursive.
print.
I have a. I'm sorry. I have a little printing company myself, Crescent Moon Apparel, that we do baby clothes,
Oh,
Very cute.
onesies, toddler shirts, and bags and things like that.
Bikinis, thongs, normal baby things.
We'll get there.
I mean,
We'll get there.
you know, everybody's got to have the right thing.
I mean, Paris Hilton isn't popular anymore.
And you're creating a model.
Yeah.
You got a baby model on the way.
Got a little baby on the way.
You could have just bought one or borrowed one.
I've borrowed several. I've poured out several children for this line, but we make super cute little off-brand, little edgy stuff.
So there's swears and things on it.
No, actually.
Oh, come on. The swearing baby market is where it's at.
I'm trying. My wife is fantastic with marketing, and that doesn't sell. I've been pushing. I have a list of everything that I want to do, and I think we've done one of them. Actually, on that note, actually this is perfect exposure. Our last show, I requested, and we made it happen. We did Spaceballs the onesie.
That's great.
I am
That's perfect.
desperately hoping that I get a cease and desist. I will frame it. I just want it to happen. Like, I'll keep printing it until it happens. Like,
Until they tell you to stop.
and
Who owns it now?
I think it's still Brooks.
But I mean, like, has the studio been absorbed by Disney or anything? Or
I don't know. I don't know. But the whole point, especially, which I totally got to shove up her ass, that's the biggest seller that we had at the last show that we did. Every other thing that we did, like, sold well, but so many people lost their fucking mind when they saw that.
see, that's beautiful.
Like, I was like, goddamn right.
Do you have another
name-
show coming up?
The name belongs to Mel Brooks. Everything else is owned by Disney.
But it's on Hulu for some reason
Fucking
and not Disney Plus.
Disney? Seriously? I'm sorry.
Disney
Seriously?
owns everything.
God damn it.
No, that's good. They'll sue you.
I know. That's fine. Okay.
Well, I mean, if we haven't been taken down by Fox yet,
Wait till our critique of Wizard World hits the airwaves. And
I'll
then we'll see
never
what
get that
happens.
press pass now.
You'll get a press pass from prison, and you'll like it. Where can your stuff be found, or where will you be exhibiting it again?
We do not have any shows lined up, but there's no good holidays coming up. I mean, Mother's Day, technically, but
You got an online dealie and
we do. CrescentMoonApparel.com. Mm-hmm. We have everything set up
for all your cool
there.
baby needs.
Your little, babies with an edge, I think is our tagline.
Straight edge babies.
Why not?
I mean, that could be.
Well, usually if mom's having a couple of cocktails, maybe take a break on that boob milk, but baby's getting drunk on boob milk like after the fact. Come on,
That's the final frontier
party.
of artisanal cocktails. It's coming.
let's party.
Just wait.
Let's party.
Beautiful. Well, thank you for being on the show and not canceling. Which
Yeah, we appreciate it.
we appreciate you making a commitment and then
Sticking
following
to it.
through with it. For,
Like we're doing with this
Yes.
show.
Yes.
we can stick it out, so can you.
I feel so bad that to hear that everybody.
Things happen,
Recently,
man.
yeah.
You know, it's just
I get it.
You can't blame people sometimes. They've got reasons, but it's like, oh crap. It's real hard for us to get in the same place anymore. So we're taking advantage of it.
But you, the listener, can find us at
Libs and
just go to slurmcast.com.
right. Thank you for jogging my memory, Tom.
Yeah.
'Cause
Email us,
slurmcastpod.
Facebook us if you want to come on the show, or email us, or
Call
call,
286.
Leave a
or
voicemail.
text.
You can find it all. Just look on the info of this podcast.
You know how to use it. Google.
216-438-1077.
I still don't know the phone number by heart.
It's 438 and then 1077.
It's the price of a cheese
cheeseburger
pizza and a Coke
yeah.
in 1999.
Yes.
Same as my
At
pen number.
Panucci's Pizza. Smart. That's what Fry's was too. He just had all of his banks got killed. What was the Instagram and Twitter? Slurmcastpod. We're on Facebook.
Slurmcast
I mean,
pod.
look, you're right. They can find us if they have half an ounce of effort.
Yeah.
We're findable. There's nothing else called Slurmcast out there.
Google, what's
And we
that?
love you. We appreciate the effort. We're just saying it's a very low bar that you have to get over.
Just Google, what's that podcast that talks about Futurama? I'm sure will come up.
And food. Yeah, then rate and review us in your favorite podcast platform or whatever. 'Cause
Now-
it's nice to have people say nice or not nice things about us. It just validates our presence.
Everyone, do the chicken dance. Bye.